Good morning, peeps. I know this is later than expected, but I actually saw a video on YouTube that took a while and that I identified so much with because it was about like a packing checklist for something like a pen paling meeting. So shout out to Marilyn. Thank you for this video, and I will take the liberty to write to you over the weekend. I don't know yet if I'm going to write to you on the backside of my film script or on the puffin or both, because all of the above fits my theme of today. As you may have noticed, last week I rambled a lot about like the most mysterious song on the internet, and now following up on this, I discovered the third most mysterious song on the internet. I didn't even know there was like a hit list. But what I found interesting was that it was sung by a woman, and I think I've listened to this now 100 times to like determine if that's maybe like an early work of someone whom I know better than I think or something. But what I want to do today with you, and you will see in a second why the puffin makes sense in the video, I want to take a look at the text with you and come up with my own theories. If you Google the third most mysterious song on the internet, you will also hear the song in full length with a variety of fan-made videos. So let's get right into the thing. Silence, silence, silence. I didn't want to annoy people with the silence, but actually I was a little bit baffled by how much this text reminded me of Iceland. Don't get me wrong, I love Iceland, but I think this text is criticizing life on a small island. There are two alternate islands. Okay, I can't even find my papers in the chaos here. But thanks, Marilyn, for helping me a little bit to accept my own creative chaos. Yeah. By the way, I find it really hilarious that people want to help me clean up, and then they put this cream cheese with chive in the kitchen. But actually, this container has sequins in it to craft with, and I won't craft in my kitchen because, let's say, with all due love and respect, I don't want any sequins in my food, period. So, where was I? Two alternate islands that people in the YouTube comments see in this mysterious song. Okay, now I had to draw an island really, really quickly. So, the more common hypothesis is Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, because the story in the song directly refers to some places and events that are only on Martha's Vineyard. But I was also interested in what someone said in the YouTube comments under the real song in a really ample and well-researched way. Southeast Farallon Island, also called SEFI. I don't know if you say Sefi and then everybody knows what you're talking about. I don't know anyone who has ever lived on Sefi, because there was a time when all the civil inhabitants had to go, according to this YouTube comment, and today it's like a sanctuary for a variety of animals. So I actually I tried to sketch this from a photo of Sefi, and there were considerably more seals. But like yesterday, after my pen paling meeting, I was so tired I only managed one, and it's not the prettiest one, but we'll fix it. There are also a lot of whales on Sefi, but obviously kind of no more people except for people who are kind of assessing these animals. But someone in the YouTube comments did a really ample research that there was a person named Grace, like mentioned in the song. And that person would have left the island 1931 or something, if I understood that right. Like, let's say I don't know anyone who has a connection to Seffi or to Martha's Vineyard. But I would like to get to know people to the effect, so please get in touch. A little bit of a backstory to the song. It was found on a tape in a drawer in Los Angeles, 1985-ish. And there was only like something like "Listen Now" written on the tape. It's like a woman's voice, as I said, and nobody has come forward, so everybody can play the song. And if there's interest from you, I would even like put some, let's say, some weeks work into like making a painting how I see the song, and like at least make it look like as if this was moving in real time. I have no idea how to do this, but I would. That would be an interesting project. So Martha's Vineyard is in Massachusetts, has about 17,000 permanent inhabitants, but like in the tourist season and in the summer, the population can really skyrocket. It reminds me a little bit of another slightly bigger island. Like, I think Iceland has 400,000 permanent inhabitants now and 1 million tourists. But I don't have the current statistics. If you have them, write them in the comments. Okay. I have heard first about Martha's Vineyard a couple of years ago because in the old days, it had its own deaf community with its own particular Martha's Vineyard sign language, and also the hearing people knew this sign language, which I actually really appreciate. Like, let's say I don't speak sign language, but I like things that are like done with a certain sense of normalcy, where like a person with a disability in a wider sense is not the odd one out. I always feel like an odd puffin with a hat. So, okay. So I actually had a quite positive view on Martha's Vineyard and wanted to learn more about it. But I can't find so much material about it. So I gather from the little material that I found that it's kind of a relatively close-knit community of relatively well-off people. Our favorite encyclopedia on the internet also says it has a 60% higher cost of living than in the rest of the USA. I haven't been there, so I couldn't try to purchase anything, but as I have learned for a long time, life on islands can be more expensive because like you have to import many goods. And Illumination Night is, of course, one of the biggest celebrations in Martha's Vineyard, where the people light the lanterns. And obviously, like when I Googled the Illumination Night, the first thing was a hotel advertising. So basically, they probably want to attract tourists with this too. And there are indeed little houses that are called gingerbread houses, but I think they are like way more fancy than what I can draw here. Like talking about rich people who probably have the means to maintain these houses from 1700 something or 1800 something. Okay, if anyone has like good details about these gingerbread houses, you can also leave that in the comments. I want to talk to you, and I want like the community to form their own opinion and so forth. I've seen some acoustic guitar players on YouTube who made fun of racism in Martha's Vineyard. So my thought is here, if the small community says, yes, we welcome everyone, but not those and those and those people, it's a little bit weird. So, but this kind of also aligns with some thoughts that I see in the text. Like, there's this young woman saying that some nameless she brought her to the Illumination Night Festival to pass on a legacy. It's not said what kind of legacy. Not everybody wants to pass on a legacy. I don't know, maybe there is some elephant in the room that this young woman didn't want to talk about, because like right from the beginning says she was already on the outside. Like the young woman left the island. I wanted to be what I wanted to be. And like this reminds me, with all due respect, a little bit of the Westman Islands offshore Iceland, where I just was for a holiday. But let's say I saw very little infrastructure. Like, let's say even getting a taxi when I couldn't walk anymore was like super hard, sort of impossible, because let's say the people on the Westman Islands who I've learned about are also relatively well off, and they use their own cars to go like everywhere. Okay, in most parts of Iceland, you don't really have a reasonable bus or something, but then at least you find some sort of taxi, some sort of infrastructure. I've also encountered some people on the Westman Islands who had a bit of a problem with like society always saying you have to be like valiant and you have to work hard and you have to this and you have to that. So yeah, I haven't been there for more than a week, and of course I respect people's decisions, but like today I'm interested in this decision to leave the island that is probably Martha's Vineyard. I think you wouldn't talk about crazy ladies unless this is someone or something who you don't take seriously. So there is this phenomenon that they light the lanterns for the shipwrecked sailors. So obviously they are kind of still chewing on like connections that are dead. There is also like repeatedly the sentence, the will to live collides with love. So, and here is Grace, the person who, like the only person called by name in the story of the song. And I think this could be a pun. Like, she left me with grace the next year, so she was graceful, and she said, I'm just not here anymore. But then it also goes on, like, Grace got drunk at a Chinese restaurant. I like how similar this is to the Westman Islands, because what I was mostly surprised about in Vestmannaeyjabær, the village on the Westman Islands, is that there was like a sort of like a mile of restaurants down the main street. So and the Westman Islands are known for a summer celebration where the people drink a lot. So okay, I think YouTube is going to cut this off soon. So I'm going to stop here and think about if there will be a second part to this. So I'll see you in a bit, probably. Bye-bye.